All right, another day, another big win. We're going to talk about a few stocks here, and by the end of the video, I'll give you guys, 3 stocks that I think are still worth watching for the week, and they still have really good chart setups. So this is more just of a an update video plus more things to look forward to. And yeah, I mean, I'm not just gonna give you 3 stocks. I'm gonna give you like a bunch more afterward, but you get the point. Let's go straight into it. First things first, it's crazy that I keep trading this stock, LLY, because I thought I was done with it. We took it down on the day it released earnings for a big win, 900%. We took it down here when after the 2-day consolidation for like 500%, and then we played it all the way down here, and then today we took it down again for 300%. It's actually crazy because I wasn't planning on trading it, but it kind of had a setup where it needed me, or it forced me to play. Like if I didn't trade this stock today, it would have been rude of me to be I would be ashamed to be a day trader, basically. And here's the setup, right? It's not anything complicated. So I went to the 4-hour chart and I looked at what this was doing, and instantly what I noticed is like this head and shoulder pattern formed. Right now it was around here. It hasn't broken down yet, so it was around there that I was like, okay, this looks like it might be really good, because this is a head and shoulder pattern that if it breaks down can really tumble. Now don't get me wrong, this setup is still building. It's still haven't done the head and shoulder yet. It's on the way towards getting to this breakout level, which if we really want to get the head and shoulder on the 4-hour chart, we would need it to break this 677, 680, or if you want to be a little bit more strict, 693, 700. That's it. And tomorrow when I play this stock again, it will be if it breaks below 700. Now remember that this has had bad earnings, right? One of the reasons why this stock dropped to begin with is because earnings wasn't good, right? They beat on the top line, but their guidance was really bad, and that's why I shorted this stock multiple times. So this head and shoulder setup looks really good, and it's a larger head and shoulder, right? Last time we traded this, we had a head and shoulder here, and this second shoulder built, right, shoulder right here, and we shorted it down for 500%. This time, this is not a small head and shoulder, this is a larger head and shoulder, a much larger head and shoulder, and it's breaking down. Not quite there yet. I haven't broken it yet, but it's getting there. So that's why I shorted this, and the short was amazing, right? If you look at it from here, what happened was in the morning I looked at it, and around it was around like 10:30, 10:34. Yeah, there you go. I found it. It was around 10:34 that I noticed it, and I was like, okay, so setup looks great. 10:34 is roughly around here. So it started breaking down. It broke the opening range right here. It broke the pre-market low, and I started getting some attention here. I was like, okay, well, what's going on? Why is it dropping? I don't see any news. I see just more selling pressure, and I see the volume increasing, meaning more people are selling it, more puts are coming in, more shorts are coming in. And so I take a position because all the levels are breaking, and it's looking really good. The momentum is there. It's getting volatile. Now my goal here was, can we get to 730? And the reason I say 730 is because if I go to the daily chart, okay, 730 area, was it daily? Oh no, it was 4-hour chart. Yeah, if you go to the 4-hour chart, there is a mini fair value gap right here on the 4-hour chart. So you take the high of the previous candle, you take the low of the following candle of this big green candle. So from this 46 area, 746 to 730 on the dot is a fair value gap. So when it was around like 740, or what was the price right here, when it was around like 738, 740, I was like, okay, we have a 10-point gap fill. Let me at least sculpt 10 points. drops down to 730. We make a good chunk of profit, and then because of how the flow has been, I see that it has momentum to keep going down. So I don't really sell all of my contracts. I sell majority. I take my profits because I always do. When my target hits, I sell for profits. It goes up 100%, 150%. I take my gains and I hold runners. Now, I hold about 20 contracts, which are my runners. I had more than that, obviously, but I hold it because, you know, it just looks good, and it just keeps on dropping, and it keeps on dropping to a point where we are at 315%. I think it went up even more than this, but yeah, just from, if I held my entire position, it would have been a lot more profit, but just from 20 contracts alone, 300% is a massive win, another massive win. And this was the big trade of the day. We had Microsoft, which 460 calls went up 45%. 480 calls, which we took today as well, went up 20%. Still holding because I like it a lot. I'll talk about why I like it. And then Coinbase is another one that I took today, and I'm going to talk about why I love that one as well. But yeah, another insane day in the room, because this stock happens to be just the best stock in the market right now, because it just keeps going down and it does big moves, right? It had 2 days of slowdown and then another day of big drop. This day was a big push, right? Which is why we have this bearish flag slash, you know, head and shoulder setup built because of this big bounce day, which I didn't play. So I waited 2 days of sideways price action, and then today we get a nice drop back down. And tomorrow what I'm looking for is honestly just if it stays around 715, 716, then I'll try and get it down under 710 for a short, down to 700 to 694, 695 area. But the main one I'm watching is if 700 breaks, I would like to short it. 700 breaks, it should go down to 690, 680, and then once we get to 680 and break it, well, I think there's room for more, because that's gonna confirm the head and shoulder setup on the 4-hour chart, and it's gonna be a really good trade. So I don't know how much more bearishness this stock has. I mean, I've traded it so many times already. I don't know if I should keep on trading, but if it keeps giving me opportunity like this, I won't shy away from it, is what I'm saying. But the setup has to be good, and right now the setup is again building itself to be good, so worth watching. Moving on, we have Microsoft. Now Microsoft is priority 1, but it's not the craziest one out of them all. It's got potential, but not as much as some of the other stocks that have a lot of potential. Now Microsoft did great today, right? It broke this 450, it held 450, and it closed above 450. So fantastic, right? My only issue with this is that it feels slow, right? The way it's pushing up isn't, you know, like LLY, for instance, right? It's not going up 5, 10, 15 points a day. It's going up 3 points, 4 points. If we're lucky, we get 5 points. So it's been a pretty slow upward move, which I'm fine with, right? If you take more time on this trade, it should, in theory, go to all-time highs. All-time highs is right here, 470 roughly, or, you know, close to 470. So it's pretty close to 470, 468, 469, whatever you can call it. But all-time high is right there, right? We're sitting not too far away from it. So to me, getting above this 450 level and then being able to hold it today means that it has the potential to actually push now to that all-time high. And I don't know if it's going to do this inverse head and shoulder, because it hasn't built the second shoulder yet, right? It hasn't built this shoulder yet. I guess you could count this as a little shoulder, but I don't really count it. It hasn't really done a clean second shoulder. So it could still, if it wants to, still reject around this 456 and pull back down for this week, which is why it feels risky. But it had a huge amount of buying flow today, and it continues to get huge amount of buying flow. It's been a multi-day runner after earnings. Market is bullish, and if the market remains bullish, this should be able to push to that all-time high. So what to do if you haven't gotten in on it? Watch out for that 456 level. If tomorrow it breaks 456, go ahead and try a play, see if it works. Have a tight stop loss. If 456 breaks, the next big level is all-time highs, so that is what we're looking for. Looks good. I like what I see. Let's see if we can get this to make the move to all-time highs and above, because if it does break 468 and breaks the all-time high, it's gonna get another 5-point move to the upside minimum. It could go 10 points after that, but minimum usually it's 5 points that it goes up after the break of all-time highs. So yeah, Microsoft, still watching it. Been talking about it every single video because it just has a good chart setup. Yeah, so watch out for it. Now, this is my second favorite stock in the market at the moment. If you count LLY as number 1, this is my number 2, and this is not done. We made a lot of money on this stock, a lot, and I think there's another opportunity brewing, and that is app. Right now, if you see all these lines, is because, you know, this is how much I love the stock. I do a lot of technical analysis on this one, but I'm gonna get rid of them just because, to make things a little easy. This stock still has room to go up a lot. I talked about this in yesterday's video where I wanted you guys to watch out for that 380 level. It didn't break 380. In fact, it actually rejected it pretty nicely today. Look at where it rejected, 379.51. So pretty much right around that 380 mark, it rejected. So you know for a fact that this 380 is the key level, because if it breaks that 380, it is game on. And that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for it to break that 380. What I really like though is if you go to the 4-hour chart, I really like this. This is really good. It's forming another bull flag, which is perfect. This is exactly what you want from this stock, because previously, look at this bull flag, right? It's not a bull flag, but it's a megaphone pattern. It did this falling wedge megaphone pattern, beautiful flag, and it broke out for a big win for us. Now it's doing another bull flag, and this one's an actual proper bull flag. So we got a downward trend here, we got an upward trend here, and the stock is getting squeezed within this trend. Now I would prefer if it was a bigger flag here with more consolidation, it would be better, but this still has potential to just simply go and break out. This has potential to just run here, and that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for that next leg up, and the only way I will go long is if it breaks that 380 level. Break 380, we play it again, and we fill the rest of the gap. What is the rest of the gap? Well, we went up to 380. The rest of the gap is this fair value gap. So you see this big red candle, you take the lowest point of the candle before it, which would be here, which would be this red candle, and this is the rest of the gap that needs to be filled on the daily chart. So we have room for another 15-point move to 395, and if it goes to 395, it's most likely going to 400. So another 15 to 20-point move on the upside. So definitely something that is very, very likely to happen. It is, remember, earnings came out, it beat earnings, so it's like Microsoft where it should have multiple days of push, and I think it will. It looks really good. And on the weekly chart, as I mentioned before, the fair value gap is even bigger. So on the weekly chart, the fair value gap is actually up until 412.50 or 412.19. So once it gets there, well, yeah, I mean, it's got lots of room to go up now. So yeah, potential is massive. It's massive. Don't look away from this one, because this could go crazy after that 380. Another 20-point move is like another 500% if you do it correctly. And yeah, so that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for app to make that move. Now, this is the last stock that is priority 1 for me for tomorrow, and the rest of the week is Coinbase. And we took a position on Coinbase today on purpose, because Coinbase, if you look, $300 calls, they did go up nicely. I didn't sell it because I'm expecting more from it. Now here's the thing, the stock has all the setups that we want. If you look at the weekly, the EMA, the red EMA is curling up, and it's good. I like that. It hasn't quite turned around yet, but I like that it's curling up. There is a potential inverse head and shoulder here that could build. We haven't done the second shoulder yet because the stock needs to actually push to 300 and then build the second shoulder for a push. So lots of time left to do that. It's not going to happen anytime soon, but that potential push is there. The setup is building. and I like that. So I want to watch what it does and see if it can pull through the next move. If I go to the daily chart, we had a nice day 2 on this one today. Obviously, for day 1 was big, and the reason it's really big is because of the fact that they're getting added to the S&P 500. So that's one of the reason why it's a great play, because throughout this week, because they're being added to the S&P 500 on May 19th, so that's Monday. Throughout this week, it should consistently get more and more volume, because all of the hedge funds and institutions are trying to add this stock into their portfolio. So if I think about it like that, well, the stock should see more upside and continue to push every single day until 300, right? Definitely take more time, right? The more time you take on these type of stocks, the better, right? If you take a week or 2 out, good. If you take immediately this week expiration, high risk, very, very high risk. You need to give it that time to do consolidation days. There are days where it's going to sideways. There are days where it's going to consolidate. So you need to take time to let the stock breathe a little bit. And to do that, you need to take more time on your expiration date on your options play, especially if you're playing options, right? So for me, this one's a stock that by tomorrow, I want to see these 270, 280 levels. And then, you know, by Friday or by Monday, get us to 300. And then after that, I'll revisit it and see how it does, and, you know, maybe update you guys on another video. But I love the way this looks. If you want to play this tomorrow, you're basically looking for the break of today's highs, which would be, you know, 264.50. Look for a break of 264.50. See if you can push it up more. Volume was even greater than yesterday, so just a lot of positive things here. I think we got more upside on this, so I really like it. I really like it. By the way, if you do want to get into the room and get all of my alerts every single day, and you know, I go live not every day. I go live on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Some days I'll miss it because, you know, I tend to get sick and stuff. I'm sick right now, but you know, this is the days that I go live in my live voice channel, as well as YouTube, private YouTube, only for members. And yeah, if you want to get in on it, link will be in the descriptions below. You can go ahead, use the code SALE50, which is during checkout. You can sign up using the code SALE50. This is the promotion I'm running right now, so you can take 50% off of the monthly subscription for the first month only, and then it goes back to the normal price. You can cancel anytime you want through the WAP platform, and yeah, you take advantage of it if you want to be part of the room. All right, moving on. And I mean, I already gave you guys my top 3 stocks, but these are just some honorary mentions. Nvidia, I'm still thinking of building a position here. I wanted a dip today, but I didn't get any. It just kept going up. It just looks really good. So maybe instead of just being stingy, I'll just go in on it tomorrow and try a swing trade for next week. It broke the downtrend line. It looks really good. If we get a red day, I would definitely buy it into the earnings, but I think it's not really going to give us that easy of a drop into earnings. It might do something like Palantir, where it goes up a lot, earnings comes out, it drops, and then we buy the bottom for a bounce back up. But for me, I think this is a stock that has the potential to go to 150. All right, next is Netflix. This one had a news today, big news actually, kind of massive news actually. Netflix says add support. I can't even read English. Netflix says ad-supported service has 94 million subscribers. Last time they reported it, it was 70 million in November. Okay, 24 million increase in the ad section, the low-priced ad. That's crazy. That is massive deal. All right, this is a massive bullish news to me. Okay, so watch out for this, because this actually has a good chart setup on the 4-hour. It's been consolidating for a couple of days now, right? It's been tightly consolidating around this 1130, 1140, 1150. If this stock breaks above 1164, 1165 all-time highs, look for 1200. Okay, look for 1200. I like this. I think I might actually play this tomorrow, depending on how it does. It's most likely going to be a day trade, but I really like it. After today's news, it makes me want to keep a very close eye on it, because that's a massively bullish news in my opinion. So watch out for that. Watch out for that. And last but not least, Boeing. Now, this one also got news. 243.5 billion from Qatar, right? I think what Boeing is getting, was it like $96 billion? Is that how much Boeing is? Boeing and GE Aerospace secures a $96 billion order. Yeah, so Boeing is getting about a $96 billion. That's pretty good. This is the other part. It's Qatar orders 160 Boeing jets for 200 billion. Okay, that's the other headline. So it's a pretty good move. Watch out for it, because I don't know, this could be one of those stocks that just pushes really nicely. I'm watching that 210 level. If it breaks 210, I'm gonna go long. If you take a look on the daily chart, there is a major gap to fill from 217.50 to 243, and then there's another push here that it could do from 243 to 257. So there's a lot of room to go up here for Boeing and a lot of gaps to fill. But what I need is it to break this 210 level, and if it doesn't break 210, I don't want to take it. I need to see 210 break. So tomorrow what I'm looking for is, can it break 210, go to 220, and we'll see if we can play that. So worth watching for a day trade. Looks pretty good. Lots of gaps to fill. I like it. All right guys, that's it for this video. I'll see you guys on the next one. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and peace.